Oh, naa sila oh. Sus Ginoo ko kanilang daan si Green Goblin pati mahala ni Mala.
Hello mga ka-Usyoso! Welcome to Usyoso channel where magusik-usik mi sa inyong oras with some wonderful, weird, fun, and maybe not so useful facts. But hopefully while magusik-usik mi sa inyong oras, you'll learn something and most of all, magkapasmile mi ninyo. Our story for today is about toy collecting and unsa impact nila sa atong lives as collectors. I am a collector as you can see, but we did an interview with some collectors sa Cebu. One is a collector who does also custom paint job. Another collector also selling and has a toy store in Cebu. Very humble person. And lastly, a public figure who na-inspired by Batman. Before we check out their stories, maybe we check out also first the history about toy collecting. Kung mag-story about evolution or history sa toys, always dyan na nato ma-associate together sa technology and then trend in that time period or that era. Kung mag-story about toy history, we go way back ancient history. For example, in ancient Egypt, there's already toys there nga ang ilahang toys na incorporate with the current technology. I think most nga mga tao or kids that has toys are those royalty, but their toys will always resemble like kanang naay mga wheels, like horse nga naay wheels, because at that time ang wheels is very important in society because mo man yung help build the pyramids because it transports the big blocks needed to build this kind of structures. Sa 19th century, mga toys became more and more refined. Like nanay mga porcelain toys, they're nicely painted. Nindot na kayo. Nanay mga hinges. Wheels are still there because wheels are always been around for a very long time. So pagkaabot na sa 20th century, like for example the Hasbro, also like for example Mattel. So if you don't know this companies, munis lang mga companies that are already very big and giving us like karon mga mga IPs, intellectual properties that we see in the movies, like for example, G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man, Barbie. These are all coming from Hasbro and Mattel during the 20th century, and this actually revolutionized how we see now as the toys.
Filbert Garces, yeah, nag-collect ko na way back pag yun sa una na mga I have my vintage action figures there still there, and then just 2020 during the pandemic I kind of able to see the opportunity to grow it up, and this is how many of them now. Actually, 2020, that was the time that Avenger Endgame was so popular. So, dito ko na amaze ba niya, nindot kayo ang cinematography atong salida. So, ang grabe ka hype to. So, mo to nipalit din ko og Avengers nga mga action figure, and one of those is Hulk. Mo pinakauna na ko Hulk. Unya si Thanos pod. Thanos, and then Spider-Man, and then so on so on.
Edgardo JP Labella. I love to collect toys, especially Batman and some Marvel action figures. The reason so obvious, even though Batman is human, he's the only one who can defeat the whole Justice League. Yeah, and for me, I sometimes like to relate myself to him, because I can see that Batman really knows how to endure all the pain in his life, all the sufferings. But he does a lot of things just to make other people feel safe or feel good or feel better. So that's why I like him so much.
Akong panganday is Edgar Bontilao Jr. Tagiya sa AA's Toy Store. Dala ko istorya nga gamay. Last year, dito mig Japan. So, first time na mong nakalarga og Japan. And then, bisita gyud mi og Akihabara. Kay naa ko nung adto ang mga nindot gyud kuno sad nga mga collection. So, nakahunaw na ko nga sagol-sagol ang ilang mga duaan nito. So, naka-idea ko nga sagol-sagol lang pud akong maragi sim sa Akihabara style nga na mga scale figure, na anime, na hot toy. So, kung baga marag sari-sari store ang akong tindahan sa anime. Sagol-sagol.
First of all, I'm actually very happy nga akong wife akong allowed to keep the collection room. That was not an easy negotiation, but because this room has purpose also for me, especially like for example, I need to reset my brain. Like akong utok dili ko create something new or be creative, so I come here to reset that. I need that actually, to be honest, and it helps me get inspired. Now I studies University of Cambridge about toy collectors. 78% was reported nga kaning mga collectors are more happier and more fulfilled of having the hobby. I think this is more into inclining that these are, at least for me, I can also relate nga this is like a therapy where you are like organizing. For me, I also like to organize my collectibles, displaying them properly, and it gives a much more sense of calm, and also kana ganing feel nga accomplishment. Additionally, kana ganing maka-feel ka og nostalgia. This happens mostly kana sa mga toys that are based from movies or cartoon shows, even comics. But enough about me. Atong paminawon unsay kasulti sa atong fellow Cebuanons na toy collector sub.
Well, when they come in, they get to see and say, "Whoa, you have Batman. You have because it's other offices are too serious. I want people to come into my office and get to see stuff that they don't see every day, and then it also adds a bit flavor to my office too. Yeah, I have a lot of collections at home also. Mostly I collect McFarlane toys, but all DC, mostly DC. For the Marvel stuff, it's only the glove of Thanos, which I have, and some Wolverine and what do you call this? Deadpool. Mostly dark comics, like what Deadpool used to say. You're so dark. Are you from the DC universe? Yeah, stuff like that. My samurai swords. No, they come from Japan, and I bought them from my friend, a friend also who wanted to sell them, and then I also have a full body armor samurai, but it's quite big, and my dad left it to me. It's in the Plaza Independencia. I put it there so that people can take a look at it and view it.
Ako, nagdako ko nga kuan, kanang hilig na gyud og games. So usa sa ko ka gamer. So ana mo gina basta gamer, partner mo ginang kanang collector or collection og mga duaan. So mao to siya unya ang akong iyaan mo gud sa gawas na say anak ngadto nya mga biya siyang anak. So maari sa nako mo nang nag-continuous gid akong pag-collection og mga duaan na hantud na lang ning aron nga nadako nako na ako'y pamilya. Still ang akong passion gyud ug akong giganahan gyud isang pag-collect gyud og duaan mao gyud nyara pa baday nakahunaw ako nga marag pwede mo sa inegosyo. So mao ning na tukod ni atong physical store. Wala man gyud kay ko yung nagbase sa unsa ko maligya nga pinakamahal gyud. Ang akong yung gibasihan kanang every time nga marag ang fulfillment ba nga mabaligya mahatag yan mo sa tao nga iyang gipangita. Wa ko nagkuha man sa price kay sagol-sagol din ko katimaan gud sa presyo. So every time nga makabaligya ko nya malipay lang gyud akong customer nga nahatag nako iyang gipangita nga figure pag dako na sad para nako ba mao na marag fulfillment sad nako nga kuan.
Kuan gud na nagsugod jud ko sa kanang bootleg and then gradually nagakwarta-kwarta ginagmay so mo to akong gi-chase nagkuan ko nag-branded na ko like McFarlane and then
So mga McFarlane's there.
mga DC na ko mostly mga DC gina sa McFarlane. Yeah, normally what I do is dili kay ko anang high school picture nga displaying, so I also do some a little bit action like diorama thing. Nagisuon ako so naadri silang Wolverine, silang Black Panther facing the supervillains na mga children of Thanos na si Thanos and so on, Sabertooth. So just recently, I mean last year July or June siguro to nga gipagawas ang Deadpool and Wolverine. So what I did is I have costume different kinds of Wolverine there inspired of that movie. So mao na makita di daghan kay Wolverine ang mga costumes na siya normally. I mean most of them are costumes like kana si Edge of Future nga Wolverine gihimo na ko na it's totally costumes tanan kana sila. Inspired na siya atong salida kay it was really good movie good nga seeing Hugh Jackman wearing the yellow suit of Wolverine. Ganahan sa kay ko sa katong crossover sa mga Spider-Man, so of course naagid di mawa ang No Way Home. Naa sila sus Ginoo ko kanilang daan si Green Goblin pati mahala ni mala. Sorry for the language. Green Lantern, Green Goblin niya kanipod si Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. Mahal sad pero yeah, I finally got it. So far waiting for bag-o nga katong kang si Lizard na ay pagawa sa bagong Marvel Legends, so nakatang na sa guad to. Nabo ko Michael Keaton nga si Vulture. Yes, I custom this also si Jamie Foxx kay wala pa man gyud nigawas nga Marvel Legends, so nagbuhat-buhat na lang ko coming from a bootleg
Electro.
Si Electro coming from a bootleg figure nga Falcon, so kung i-convert into Electro so far.
Na ay actually mga toys na they age like fine wine. Same like sa kanang mga comics, collecting cards, also with toys. Like most of which are vintage toys. They're very rare these days, but there are some that is like that. So if you have some toys, keep that because you don't know, maybe in a few years that will age like fine wine. Nasa mga toys, especially these days, now once it's already released, like few seconds it gets sold out. You know what I'm talking about. And then people are flipping it. There's that kind of toy as well. Very common these days. Could be the trend or something. But because naay scary part about toys, which is the business side of it. Ang global toy market karon is worth over $100 billion. And nagsige pa gini sa kadako like around 6.5% annually for the next 5 years. So why is this? Kay bao na ta through history that toys have a major role in our society. It gives inspiration, creativity, nostalgia, and if you have those, it also gives demand. So some toys get sold or appraised very high. For example, Barbie. There was a Barbie sold for $27,000. Vintage G.I. Joes, $200,000. A signed Lego Millennium Falcon, $500,000. Vintage Star Wars figure Boba Fett, also over $500,000. They appraised because of demand and the supplies were low, and also for the people who really saw the movies, the cartoons, and everything, the demand is very high, so the market there is also growing. So, ang scary and sad thing about demands in toys is sometimes if ang toy na ay very high demand, some people rich enough who can buy almost the entire supply, they will buy it and then they will sell this in a very high price when the supply has run out. It's kind of sad kay ang mga true collectors sometimes will not have it because the price is very high. This is also already happening, but I hope some people can also understand this. It's kind of a game to play, but yeah, it is what it is right now, and it's really complex with regards to toy collecting.
Actually, sir, ang akong misis is wala gid siya sa una, wala gid mi kasanabot nga gusto ko aning sa kay ang kaning gud nga negosyo gud is dili mo gud siya need. So once manggod ni siya nga negosyo, so murag luxury na siya nga kuan. So ako sang gi kuan pasabot nga mao ni ganahan gyud mao gid akong passion, mao gid akong grambaton kay ako sang pasabot nga ang kaindot mo sagud ani is dili siya mapanos, dili siya maguba kung malabtan, as well as musaka sa diyang price kung palitan man gani rare na birong figure, so musaka. So ingon ana unya ako sa siyang gipasabot nga kanang sorry. It's okay. Natabian nung gay ko. Ako sa gipasabot nga kanim go negosyo is gamble. So nisod tani nga negosyo. As in wala gid mi idea og unsay presyuhan, unsay kuan. Gamble ra gitanan ni sud lang gid mi anig kalit. But kaluyan sa Ginoo nga nilungtad sa gid ang mong negosyo so karon 2 years kapin na day no 2 years kapin nami nga nag live sell, so and then nasa mi sa Ayala sad nag-display pud mi ngadto, so okay ra gid kayo ang business noon so far. Lanlain na sa ni sir nga kuan size nga figure like natay 1/4 scale, natay 1/3 scale. So natay mga PVC nga material nga scale gyapon sa nga figure. Anya well sa is 1/3 scale ang kani at ang pinakadako nako kaning si Goku 1/3 scale na resin ang available nato. Well ang halino na to usually gud man gitag tag muraita sa Toycom, so muraita ang tawag sa mga baratohon. Like kaning nakita niyo ron nga side, so mga loose ni siya nga figure. Matawag nila chicks or loose kanang without box nga figure. So mo nay muraita tag 300, 400 nga ang range sa kuan.
Sa Gaisano or sa mga SM, mga inana, makakita lang na yung mga tuyuon yun na nako adto like Toy Kingdom tuyuon ginanaw kadto. And then though it's different bangod sa ang pricing sa mall o sa online like Lazada o Shopee, so mga few lang ako napalit sa mall that time sa ako lumakaya, then the rest onward mga 2021, 22 pataas nag-Shopee na ako. Most of my figures coming from Shopee.
Collecting is a good thing, but it's good only if you have the means to collect this stuff. And for me, I always say on my certain budget, try to see how much my budget is, and and but I for already 2 years now, I stopped buying those big ones because we really need to save money too. And there are a lot of fakes out there, which is why we really have to authenticate stuff that we buy, which is really very important.
Importante kaayo ang community of collectors. Why? Because there's just a lot of benefits. For example, it actually also helps the community makahelp na siya educate sa new collectors. Like I said, because there's a business side of it. So if you have a community, the community may help you filter out the noise. Like also helps you with regards to acquiring these toys, where you can acquire na dili ka kamailad. That's actually very important. The other benefits which I also like is some companies have like a Facebook page where you can give them feedback. I really like that, especially for me where I have like big collectible statues. Most of the time we give feedback so that these companies, because they're also very expensive, the statues are very expensive, the collectible mahal kayo, they also want feedback, and we also want to give them feedback to improve sa ilang pagbuhat sa mga collectibles. So the pop culture scene and the toy collecting scene there is in Philippines is really growing. It's not as big yet as other countries, but we are really growing. There are like Comic Cons in Manila, in Luzon. There's also Toy Cons there. There's also Toy Cons sa Cebu. Also, with the advent of social media, we can already share it with everyone through the different communities, Facebook pages, and all of that. So what I like actually sa kaning mga communities is the discussions, the different kinds of discussion. Like, for example, new releases or upcoming releases, budgets, how anyone can display sa ilahang collection and sa mga different options. Also some topics like related to custom paint jobs. Also like for example, namoy pang buy and sell. So there's really a lot of interesting things and also different kinds of point of view there. So that's why a community is very essential these days, because the hobby or the toy collecting industry itself is growing and it's becoming more complex. So these communities can really help.
Depends on what to do. Kung kanilang si Superman alone, nikabat yun yung mga approximately 3 to 5 hours, something like that.
Okay.
It's a whole body makeup man, then nagpaint pa ko sa yung ulo. Pero kung if heads lang, naragin nas mga 1 to 2 hours, depende.
For me, it's kind of separate now because I put these so that people can see my true self, they see who I really am. I don't hide stuff like that because I want to. I'm one of the youngest councilors, so that's why people would understand why I have these, and this is my generation too. It's really a part of me, but when it comes to the government working, I'm a different person. I really work hard for the city, especially trying to make the Cebu city a smart city, which is very important because I know it is a cultural and heritage city, but that does not mean that we have to live in the past.
Well, actually, nainiari nga vlogger pod. Ay wako kay ba og nakaila mo na si Impatso. So naari sa shop, and then giprank na yang akong akong mga staff diri sa tindahan. So nagpa-insik-insik sa diri sa tindahan. Ang ako lang masulti nila sa mga beginners o sa mga kanang gusto mag-collect, no? So ang ako lang is collect moderately, no? Kay kanindot mo gud sa collect moderately kaysa mo palit kag binulto dinaghan nga imoy collect is di ka kayo ka-appreciate. Kay bulto man nindot mo tong hinay-hinay kay ngano ma-appreciate gyud nimo ang figure labi na imong gihaguan. Mo'y nakanindot kung ma-kumpleto nimo. Lain mo na ang needs nga imong makuha ug ang wants nga imong makuha. Kay ang needs murag anhar gyud taman bang imong kalipay, kung wants ang imong makuha kanang figure imong gusto gyud kay nga imong gipanangkamutan, mas grabe gyud ang kwan gyud fulfillment nga imong makuan.
All I can say is kanang kung unsa gyud kung passionate jud ka sa imuhang when it comes to action figures or any kind of collection that you want to do, then do it if na chance. All right? So, ang ako lang mo, kanang if family man ka, you have to control it. Kay these things are not, easy to get. Especially if toy figures, like action figures, specifically with kanang mga pareha na mga DC, mga Marvel. Sa Marvel Legends lang daan, tag 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, bugas na usa kilo. Usa ka sako, I mean. So, yeah, control lang and then do it gradually until you find it what may satisfactory gud aning collection. I mean, it will grow and grow until, but you have to control yourself all the time.
Do what you love, and if it doesn't kill you, go ahead and pursue what you want to do. If you want to collect, I suggest start small until you go big. Then that's it. I mean, just love what you do. Just be comfortable with who you are.
There you go. I hope nausik inyong oras in a more delightful way. And also shout out sa mga collectors nga mong gi-interview. They're very hospitable pag adto na mo silang places. And to all toy collectors in Cebu, I hope mo continue grow ang toy collecting community sa Cebu. I hope I can also join one day there when I'm there because I also really want to enjoy that kind of Comic-Con or Toy-Con feel in the Philippines. I really love that. Hopefully, I'll be there. And as always, if naamoy mga comments in our video, if you want to ask something, ingname, leave your comments down below, especially to things nga makapa-improve sa among videos, as we are also still starting. Yeah, just leave it there. We're very interested. We want to know your thoughts. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share sa among channel Usyoso. And kita-kits in the next pang Usyoso na to.